Hello, welcome to this exclusive London Games Festival official selection video. I'm Juhana and I'm an artist and designer of Bionic Bay. In this video I'm going to showcase you two pretty cool levels and at the same time talk about the visual look of the game mechanics and so on. So without further ado, let's get in. Okay, we are in. Actually, we're going to start this game in our second level. The setup is that our hero, who is a scientist, gets transported into this weird biomechanical world during a failed reverse engineering project. And right here he founds this peculiar device, which is actually our core mechanic, the swap tool. With swap tool, as you can see, you can switch places with any loose object on the world, but you first have to tag it like this, and then you can just switch places with it. And it's surprisingly versatile tool, especially in a highly physics-based game like Bionic Bay. But you need to be careful because you can also die like this. Our checkpoint system is very forgiving, so when you die you can almost immediately come back to the same spot you died. Okay, let's move on. This is the second level of the game, so you pretty much have learned all the basics on movement, which is that you can run, walk, jump and dash and grab ledges. Here's the first sort of a puzzle where you need to utilize swap mechanic. But also this is a physics-based game, so you need to be precise. As you can see, you really need to tag the object and be at the right spot when you do it. Like right now, like that. Okay, nice. Let's move on. We have put a lot of emphasis on the visual look. The place really feels like a real place. Everything you see is actually pixel art. It's not always like super clear, but it definitely gives this an interesting, crispy, almost even timeless look for the game. There are a lot of loose objects in the world which you can swap to move forward, but you always have to remember that you keep moving on the spot that the object was, so it takes a little bit time for brains to understand, but once you understand it, it becomes like a second nature to you, and it's actually quite fun. Here's another puzzle, seemingly difficult, but it's actually quite easy to know what to do once you understand how the swap works. Our character grabs ledges automatically, which makes the overall climbing and jumping around much more convenient. There's a lot of room and space in the levels. This is a linear game, it's not a Metroidvania, but still there are like alternative routes, and I would say that levels are quite spacey in many ways. Okay, it doesn't matter how big the object is, you can swap it as easily as a tiny rock. Okay, what we have here. Okay, wow, okay, so those explosives were tiny bit deadly, and as you can see, when you swap, you really need to be careful where you swap back, because this is a physics-based game and there's lots of explosives. You are not safe there, so let's try it this way. Okay, it helped. Let's move forward. The idea in level design in Bionic Bay is that you constantly keep coming into something new, something a little bit new. So the whole game should feel fresh and intriguing throughout. So we are not copy pasting stuff here at all. Basically everything you come across is always new. Oh, that's okay, that's deadly too. Who would have guessed? Okay, so yeah, there's a tiny gap and you can go from there. As you can see, our hero is quite elastic, and in fact he gets this ability in the beginning of the game where he can run and jump much faster and much longer. So also he can drop pretty high up and not die. And overall I think it makes the game much more fun. But he still is quite fragile, meaning if he gets exploded he will die. But here he actually didn't get exploded. It was just the force from the explosion that gave him a slight impulse. So he's good to go. Okay, let's go forward. Okay, so now we have a little bit of a new object here, new mechanic. It's this special box which gets like this huge impulse if you hit it. So it's a nice way to move around really fast and really easily. Oh, and here's a little bit like a breathing room for the players. There's no challenge, just stupidity really. But I think it's really important in a game like this, which is quite challenging, that you have this breathing room every now and then. Every spot shouldn't be like the most difficult spot in the world, and there should be variety on that. And oh, that's pretty hard. And also it's really important to have this like nice rhythm of, or nice flow of variety visually, but also mechanically and challenge wise. So okay, nice. Here we have this explosion which only explodes if it gets like very warm place. So that's nice, one way to solve this puzzle. Most of the puzzles here are designed in a way that you would probably have one or two ways to solve it, but some spots like that particularly was designed in a way that there's only one way to proceed on that. We have very nice particle system here. As you can see, all the particles have collisions and they look very realistic, and you know, explosions in general should be satisfying, because you know, exploding things in games is pretty fun. Here we have anti-gravity chambers, which are very versatile object in level design, because you know, they hang on air like that. You can use them in many ways, and this is one way to use them. Okay, so let's move forward. Oh, okay, so now players should have learned something. Let's see. Okay, this is the way. Oh, that was easy. So as you can see, pretty much everything in this world really tries to kill you. And now we are at the end of the level. It's a bit like Super Mario, where he goes into the tube and goes off. Let's go to the next level. Okay, now we actually jumped a little bit further into this world of Bionic Bay, and we have, oh, he's only human, he can trip. Yeah, well, let's get straight into it. Right here we have this pretty cool mechanic ahead, which are bounce rays, which are basically like harmless lightsabers that bounce. They are very fun to use. Nice way to get from A to B real fast. There are lots of fun stuff that we are doing with those in this level, like that one. I would really like to actually try that in real life too. This place is much brighter and lush than the previous level, which were at the Schubers. Now we are moving ahead in this place, and everything is a little bit more advanced. Also here, the tech is. Oh, that's actually a deadly spot right there. Oh, that was smooth. It wasn't even close. And now we move more and more up, and now we have this pretty convenient elevator type mechanic which allows character to move up. It's like really advanced ladders. This is a spot where you really need to hit it right, but when you do, you get forward. What's this? Maybe okay. It actually dismantles you immediately. It's like a magnet for organic matter, which is not a good thing for the character. Here's a strange orb factory. Who knows what it is? Okay, what do we have over here? Okay, this is actually much harder spot, but because I've played this game like 10,000 hours, it was very smooth and easy. But it's actually a fun spot too. It's one of those spots that wish there would be a place in real life that you could actually try doing that. It's so fun. Okay, what are these? These are actually huge magnets, but they're also very cold. So they freeze you immediately. So you should avoid them, like this. And those objects are actually very heavy. What I've done is I've actually adjusted the gravity multiplier to like 200%, and because of that they seem super heavy. Okay, where are we going now? Okay, this is actually a spot that I've really been waiting to showcase, because as I said before, everything in this game is pixel art, and it has been taking like a lot of time to do this. I just paused the game and showcase you a little bit about details of this world. I think this is the most realistic attempt to do realistic pixel art like no one has ever probably tried before. I do admit that sometimes it's hard to say is it pixel art or not, or if it cannot see it, is it really pixel art? Well, I don't really care unless, I mean, the point is if it looks good, that's fine with me. But I do think that it gives this sort of like a unique look into this world. This game would look quite different if these would be 3D assets or more like traditionally painted art assets. Okay, so now we are going forward. There's another bounce race spot. Okay, now you have to be careful because there are explosives. Yeah. Okay. Wow, this is really easy. Or I'm just like a really good player. I think it's both in this case. I'm not actually a very talented player, but I've been doing these levels for 4 years, and naturally I've played this a few times before. So that's my excuse. Okay, that's an enemy. You really need to be careful not to get hit by those explosives. But there's actually a way to kill the enemy, like this. You can bounce the explosions into it. Okay, let's go down and see what's over here. Okay, so we have this tutorial which teaches you how to wall slide. It's a pretty neat mechanic. Oh, Normally you should try to mimic the tutorial hologram and you almost automatically learn what to do. Now we are entering this gauntlet of enemies which are quite angry and deadly, so you really need to be as quick as you can. As you can see, the environment gets destroyed and you really need to be fast and slide those walls or pipes before they get broken. Oh, and it continues. Here you need to use swap to fool the enemy. Every time you swap, the enemies gets distracted for like a second. So you really should use swap as much as possible to distract them. That was close. Yeah, like this. When you do it at the last second, they are not able to catch you anymore, like this. So you can use swap in many various ways to defend yourself, to move from one place to another, or to solve a puzzle or so on. So it has been a real treat to design levels in this game just solely because of the swap mechanic. It's so fun to use and so versatile. Oh, I'm being stupid right now. You still need to use your brains when you use the swap. It doesn't automatically just make magic happen. Let's see how this one goes. Okay, looking good. Whoa. And we're out. Okay, nice. Hey, it was an absolute pleasure to showcase Bionic Bay for you today. We really like to thank you, London Games Festival, for including Bionic Bay in the official selection. It really means a lot to indie developers, an opportunity like this. And as you can see, we have still lots of things that we didn't even showcase. There are lots of things we are going to include the game. If you love sci-fi, you love platformers and action, you're absolutely going to love Bionic Bay once it's coming out. So stay tuned, and Bionic Bay will come back.